GM guys, back again with another Arbitrum ecosystem update. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. Everything I say is my opinion alone. Let's jump right into it, guys. First tweet here today is by Conduit. They say, introducing Arbitrum Orbit L3s on Base. Use the lightning-fast Arbitrum tech stack and build in the vibrant Base ecosystem. Deploy a testnet or mainnet on L3 today. Very interesting, exciting news coming out of the Stack ecosystem. Is that a thing? Stack ecosystem. There's a couple of different ways you can kind of like look at this announcement. I think the way I look at it is more so that at the end of the day, using the Arbitrum technology, using the Arbitrum stack, you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. Whether you wanted to deploy an L3 on Arbitrum 1, Arbitrum Nova, deploy an Arbitrum Orbit L2 on Ethereum itself, or even in this case, deploy an Arbitrum L3 just on a different L2, if not an Arbitrum one. The cool part about a lot of this stuff, as you might have heard me mention in the past, the 10% of the sequencer revenue will inevitably always go back to the DAO, 8% to the DAO itself, 2% to essentially a development committee that will be essentially reserved for those contributing to the Arbitrum stack directly. For those who may be asking, why would I deploy an L3 on Base if not Arbitrum? What I would say is, I'm sure there are some builders out there who prefer to stick within. Drain. Builders out there who prefer to stick within the Base or Optimism ecosystem, and who may not care about compromising on security. Obviously because of lack of fraud proofs and all that other stuff. I think for them, this is perfect, right? Those who just, at the end of the day, they're in it more for kind of the vision that these guys have, but want to leverage the flexibility that Arbitrum Orbit chains essentially bring. Stylus, as Conduit even mentions it here. You have Stylus, EVM plus compatibility, instant block times at 250 milliseconds, the freedom to customize your chain any way you want. And of course, if you're using AnyTrust as for data availability, the fees are extremely low. So that's the way I would approach it. At the end of the day, if you do want to maximize for security and all that other stuff, obviously the recommendation will be to deploy an L3 on Arbitrum 1, which also has functioning fraud proofs, just so you have that maximal kind of decentralization from day one. But again, it just depends if you're a builder, what you're prioritizing essentially at the end of the day. But either way, really cool announcement. I'm really excited to see more L3s being deployed on different ecosystems. There's already a good amount on Arbitrum 1. So why not give people the freedom to deploy wherever they want? We have a tweet here by Estate Protocol. They say, so exciting to announce the launch of our tokenized real estate marketplace. Buy, sell, trade global real estate in minutes. I actually just wanted to go ahead and shout these guys out for a little bit. I've been talking to their team for a while, and this is kind of just another indication of real world assets kind of, choosing Arbitrum essentially as their home. In this case, I think they launched first with real estate in Dubai in particular. I could be wrong. I think to sign up for their platform, you do need to KYC. So obviously there's that. But the cool part is that all this stuff, does live on chain on Arbitrum 1. And I think they'll see more and more teams kind of going that route. I think I mentioned the layer 2 the other day that launched that's also focused on real world assets as well. So pretty cool. Shout out to Estate Protocol for launching on Arbitrum 1. If this interests you, make sure to check it out. Sorry. We have the last tweet here for the day, just to keep it short. Blockchain at Berkeley. They say, recently our team led by Tommy and Jay have developed a novel prototype to bypass the Arbitrum 1 sequencer in both transaction submission as well as transaction inclusion. Check it out, but please use this proof of concept at your own risk. Learn how it works below. So this is really cool. I'm just going to click on it real quick just so you can take a look. Essentially what this is the ability, and you can essentially see what they say it here, execute transactions on Arbitrum using Ethereum, essentially. And in this case, you're asking, hey, why would you do that? There's a couple of reasons. I would say the main reason is if for whatever reason the sequencer is compromised or if it just doesn't work, for whatever reason, which I don't think has ever happened, you can essentially reduce censorship. You can essentially use this to transact on Arbitrum from Ethereum. Again, it would be extremely expensive, but I think the point of this is that it is a proof of concept, and B, kind of shows that there can be kind of community created public goods for the Arbitrum ecosystem and stack, just generally speaking, created by the way by these students at Berkeley, which is incredible. Honestly, incredible work that they did here. There's like a little bit of a kind of like an example here if you want to take a look to see how it works. But the point is, at the end of the day, we want to decentralize things as much as possible. And I think having community contributions like this, while it isn't necessarily like, while you can use this on mainnet, and while it is still a proof of concept, it's important that there are people like talking and concentrating efforts on stuff like this that helps us kind of decentralize things. Whether it's in this case, something like this, or even something like a shared sequencer, which is I know something that Espresso is working on that could be implemented on Arbitrum chains. So this is just one way to get around the sequencer if you are using Arbitrum. Again, realistically, no one's really going to use this just because you can just use Arbitrum itself and not bother using Ethereum, which is way more expensive. But the whole idea is you don't need to trust a sequencer to use Arbitrum, which is pretty cool. So yeah, shout out to the guys at Berkeley for creating it. It's been cool kind of talking to them and seeing the progress that they've been making on it. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Pretty cool stuff. But as usual, we'll end off with a shill for Beneath the Layers. It's a community-focused show dedicated to showcasing entrepreneurs in Web3 and telling their stories, hosted by your boy. As usual, you can check it out on X, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that great stuff. And as I mentioned before, we interviewed guests like Ellie from Starkware, Jill from Espresso Systems, G Funk from Pixel Vault, Amit from Proof of Play, and a ton of other great guests. So definitely make sure to take a look if you're interested. With that being said, guys, I will catch you on the next one. All right. I don't know what this guy's doing over here back here, just messing my seat up. Come here. All right. I'll get him later. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.